Добрый день, поважное господарство. Hi, everyone. My name is Ася. I'm an archivist in VEHA initiative. And thank you for this opportunity to speak, at least somehow, at least this way, during this wonderful event. And I wanted to talk a little bit about what we do in VEHA and why we do it. In order to explain that, I would like to tell you a little story from my life. Once I visited a relative of mine in Belarus, in Starinci village, in western part of Belarus. She was an elderly lady, my grandmother's cousin, Grandma Zoya. And we looked together with Grandma Zoya, we looked through her pictures, her family albums. I saw her parents, her children, her work, her marriage, all her life. And it was deep and beautiful and moving. And after we finished, she said, well, but what will happen with all that when I'm gone? Shall I burn it? And of course I said, please don't. But that's not the point. The point is actually that a lot of Belarusian archives were burnt because of wars, because of state terror, or because of lack of understanding that those family archives actually contain something which really matters, contained our national codes, some senses that can explain us to ourselves and make us stronger. In VEHA, we try to find those codes and propose to people to look at their archives with those new optics, to look for those codes and to send us the pictures they have found in their archives. So we have found out 5 topics like that, and people did send us a lot of pictures. You can look at them at our Instagram or on our site. What are the collections we have in VEHA so far, and what do they mean to us? The first one is called The Best Side. It's a collection of photographs made on the background of a homemade carpets. Well, they look sometimes something like that, sometimes more intricate. The thing is that a wall carpet in Belarus is sort of a meme for something completely and fearfully unstylish, something really so backward. Like, don't ever try to make a picture on having a grandma's wall carpet as a background. But in 1950s, you literally have everyone in front of those carpets. So we tried to understand why would people do that. And actually they did that because they wanted to look good. They wanted to be presented from their best side. They really contrived to do that. For example, they're wearing their best clothes. They sometimes hold things which we know that they're best things, like a bicycle. There's a girl with a bicycle, or like a hand clutch, something very fashionable in 1950s and possibly quite rare in a Belarusian village. So the carpet at that time was something beautiful, and it's really touching how people are trying to look good and wealthy and prospering when they have really a very, very, very difficult time. So that collection is something like how the Belarusians 50, 70 years ago, how did they saw beauty, how did they saw representations of themselves as wealthy and well-doing people. And that's, I think, what makes them the connection with the modern-day Instagram bloggers. Our second collection is actually two collections, twofold collection. One is called The Girl's Night. The other is called The Last Picture. Those are the pictures of wedding and a funeral. And we have it pretty much in every album in Belarus. But the interesting thing is that the wedding photography would be somewhere on a very presentable place. Possibly the beginning of the album, for example. The album of a new family starts with the marriage photo of mother and father of the family. But the funeral photos would be hidden. They can be in a separate envelope. They can be even taken away from the album itself and stuck somewhere away from the eyes. But the interesting things were that people 50 or 70 years ago, they were not so scared about these funeral photographies. They actually have them on the walls, for example, together with other pictures of their grandchildren, something, or children, or again, weddings. They've made such a collection of photos in one frame, and you can see both birth and death there. It was natural. But in our modern life, death is actually, again, hidden away from our eyes. We are afraid of it. But the crucial thing is that we still get to meet it. And then we don't know what to do. The people back there, they knew what to do. They gathered together. They supported each other. Those wedding and funeral photos are actually the families of the family pictures. All the family got together. The difference is that on one of those pictures, not all of the members of the family are living, but they're still members of the family. So I think both wedding and funeral pictures are a good example of people getting together and helping each other when they need help, or actually getting to participate in a celebration, which is very nice too, isn't it? Two of our last collections are sort of very understandable for Belarusians. It's called the Forest People and the Ruins of Belarus. Belarus is a landlocked country. We don't have sea, we don't have mountains. We have forests, meadows, we have lakes, rivers, and cities. And that's about it. So, of course, Belarusians love forest. They go there, they hide there. We have partisan history, we have a lot of everyday activities connected with the forest, even now, like mushroom picking. At the same time, all Belarusians know that Belarus severely suffered during the war, after the war. Its architecture was, a lot of it was destroyed. But I don't think that a lot of us understand to what extent. I was really moved when I participated in this collection, how much was lost. Jewels of our country were just destroyed because either it was bad luck during the war, or because after the war they were not in line with Soviet ideology. And I'm grieved to say that in nowadays Belarus we still have demolitions of architecture heritage, whereas in our neighboring country, in Ukraine, it's being destroyed by the war. So those two collections, they look at the more peaceful part of Belarusian life, which is in forest, and a more turbulent life of Belarusian life, which happens oftentimes in Belarusian cities. We hope to go on. We hope to find more topics which would explain Belarus to us and to those who are interested. I do hope that if you are connected with Belarus, if you have any family archives, you would be so good as to maybe look into them and find something which you could send to us, and we will be so happy to have it on our archive and to present it to the public and to researchers. And I do hope, if you are not connected with Belarus, that you will look at our country, at our history, at our society with some new optic, maybe, thanks to VEHA Archive. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Enjoy the exhibition. Bye.